Good morning, students. Are you all ready for the poem The Ball Poem, written by John Berryman? Before we start the poem, let me tell you about the poet John Berryman. John Berryman was born in 1914 and died in 1972. He was an American poet who gained popularity in the second half of the last century. He was a prominent poet in the confessional school of poetry. One of his popular collection of poems is The Dream Songs. He was honored with the prestigious award Pulitzer Prize for Poetry. The subject of his poetry is his own life and personal experiences. In some later poems, he has also tried to explore the spiritual rebirth, which shows his interest in religion. Students, here's the introduction of the poem The Ball Poem. John Berryman, in his poem, describes the grief of a boy over the loss of his ball. The ball is a symbolic in the poem as it is associated with the sweet memories of his childhood. No other ball can compensate the loss. With that loss, he senses his first responsibility in a materialistic world where those whom we love and our worldly possessions will not be with us forever. The poet sympathizes with the boy but says that, like every man, very soon he would also learn to stand up, despite all obstacles from the experience of losing something. Students, here is the summary of the poem, The Ball Poem. Here the poet talks about the miserable condition of a boy on losing his ball. A little boy who had lost his ball. He was playing with his ball. The ball skipped from his hand and went into the nearby water body. The poet says that this sight of the boy losing his favorite ball made him think about the boy and his reaction to this situation. Not knowing what to do, he feels grieved, shaken, and helpless. The poet sees the ball going down the street into the water. What he saw, the boy was sad and was trembling with fear. He got so immersed in his sorrow that he kept standing near the harbor for a very long time and kept on looking for his ball. The poet says that he could console him, that he may get new balls, or he could also give him some money to buy another ball. But he stopped himself from doing so because he thinks that the money may bring a new ball, but will not bring the memories and the feelings attached to the lost ball. He further says that the time has come for the boy to learn his responsibilities. In fact, the truth of life has been experienced by him. Materialistic possessions are quite often lost in life. They cannot be substituted. Money cannot bring the lost things back. It can only buy new ones to replace them. So the boy is getting the first hand knowledge of what it feels on losing something dear to one's heart and how one has to summon moral courage to be able to bear the loss and get reconciled to the fact of losing the possessions one is fondly attached to. Here, the poet wants to say that now the boy will learn the toughest lesson of life, the lesson of accepting the harsh realities of life, that one day we will lose our loved ones and our loved things. Students, The theme of the poem is much deeper than it appears to be on the surface. The poem narrates an incident in the life of a child when his ball is lost and cannot be retrieved. The loss leaves the boy grief stricken, as it is his first experience of the loss of the possession. The poet who has witnessed the experience leaves the boy alone instead of consoling him because he wants the boy to learn how to take life in its stride and bear the losses bravely. The poem, in fact, deals with the philosophy of loss and is based on the idea that people possess a number of things, some of which get lost sometimes, but loss is an inevitable part of life and should not give an emotional setback to the loser. One must know how to put up with the loss without losing heart and hope, because loss of one thing is not the end of life. One must courageously move on, leaving the loss behind. Students, the title, The Ball Poem, makes one wonder as to what the poem is about. One wonders whether it is about a ball, and one anticipates it to be a happy poem. The reader is curious to know what the poet has to say about a simple object like a ball. The simplicity of the title belies the sad, deep meaning and the mood of the poem. The title doesn't give a clue about its theme, which is the importance of acceptance of loss. It deals more with the process of learning to face a sudden loss in life and reconciling to it than with the simple story of a ball. In fact, the simplicity of the title belies the seriousness of the content. Students, in my second video, I am going to explain you the literary devices of the poem and the explanation of the stanza. Thank you.